Girl,
Girl,
bye.
bye.
Girl, bye.
Bye, girl, bye.
Girl, bye. Girl, bye.
Welcome to your safe space, honey. This is Girl Bye, the podcast amplifying queer voices and kicking down the doors to so-called normalcy. Get ready for real talk, fierce discussions, and a whole lot of yes, honey.
Welcome to Girl Bye. Today we are bringing another amazing episode with the couple from TikTok that I think has taken us by storm and gave us the feels of YouTube all over again. I want to personally thank you for being here with us today, Meagan. How are you doing? And welcome to Girl Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm great. I'm off today. I'm off this Friday. I'm off Monday and Tuesday. I got a nice long weekend, so I couldn't be any better.
Period. We love a good long weekend. And no holidays this weekend. So you have like a long weekend and no like hectic of people being out or any of that stuff.
We have no plans. We still haven't locked down any plans. I put up a video not that long ago seeking plans for this weekend. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where the wind blows us tomorrow.
Well, I'm excited. I hope you find something fun to do for sure.
Me too.
But let's start this episode with giving the listeners a little bit about you. Who are you? Where are you from? And give us a little bit of backstory to your involvement in the queer community.
My name is Meagan. I am 37 years old, born and raised in Pennsylvania. I am a baby gay. Honestly, I only came out three and a half years ago. So I don't have a huge involvement in the community besides what I'm doing right now.
I live.
What I'm doing right now, though, is specific to the lesbian community. But we're doing something on my TikTok called Lesbians Connect, where we're just trying to connect all the lesbians. Anybody on TikTok, we're trying to connect you. If you're a lesbian, we want you.
Period. And we'll definitely dive more into that whole thing as we kind of go along here. But I'm excited because part of this podcast that I have really been trying to highlight more recently are people figuring out their authenticity later in life, right?
Mhm.
Like, people know by listening to the podcast that I am an early gay. I've been gay my pretty much entire life. So tell us a little bit about your coming out situation.
Yeah. You know what? At a really young age, I knew that I liked girls differently than I was supposed to. Maybe like 9 years old. But honestly, I didn't know what it was back then. And when I
Right.
started when I was like in high school, like I just wanted to fly under the radar. I didn't want to be popular. I didn't want to be the gay kid. So like I was just minding, like just trying to fly under the radar. And honestly, it wasn't until way later in life that, like I was big into my church. I did missionary trips. And one day I was like, I just want to start dating women. I just want to live my truth. So I deleted everyone, blocked everyone from my church. And I'm like, this is what, like right now, since that's done and out of the way, I need to start dating women. So I had a Bumble account like for men that I wasn't really active on. So I just clicked that little toggle and started dating women. And honestly, I don't have a coming out story. I never like came out to anyone. I just decided like, dude, I'm 34. I don't have to come out to anyone. I'm going on it
Yeah.
with a chick. And that's what I did. I swear I never came out to anyone. I
Yeah.
just started dating women.
No, I love that. So in this first season of this podcast, I've really talked about it a lot at like my point of view on the whole come out story. We all have a moment where we come out to ourselves, right? There's a moment in life where we accept ourselves for who we are authentically. And that's a huge moment for all of us, right? I think it's a time where you finally look in the mirror and fully understand who you are. And as we've kind of evolved as a society, we've created this like come out story where you
Yeah.
have to like, you know, do all of these big things of like having a sit down and all of these things. I personally don't believe that that's a real thing. I don't think that we should encourage people to have these huge moments of like,
Yeah.
this is not a gender reveal. This is
Of like
not
who you
like,
are. It's not like
yeah, this is just who
heterosexuals don't
you
go, hey
are.
guys, by the way, I'm hetero. So like I
Right.
agree. I agree. No, like when I first like decided to date women, like I like dipped my toes in the water and I was like, no, I'm bisexual. I'm bi. And then once I started dating women, I never went back to men. Like I'm like, okay, it's not bisexuality. The connection that I felt with a woman was like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is
Yeah.
my comfort zone.
That moment of clarity, I think, is so great. And unless you take that leap of faith and like try it, you're not going to know. Right. And I think that that is beautiful,
Mhm.
for you to be able to have found that. When you were growing up, were there fears of like coming out as queer? And was that like part of the reason that you didn't? Or was it just simply like you just did not want to create a ripple? You're like, you're the kid in the background.
Yeah. I was like a fly under the radar type of kid. I mean, of course, like we've all heard negative things said about homosexuality. My mom has said it. My dad certainly said it. But I can't say that that was the reason. I just didn't like attention. I just wanted to fly under the radar.
That's so funny because it's all personality driven, right?
Yeah.
I had a friend that was super flamboyant, super out there, and super didn't care, and they wanted the attention, right? And then you have like the opposite of just people who don't want to be in the center of attention or get the highlight of or the frustrations of it either. Because I think a lot of it too, as we continue to get to know ourselves at such a young age, you almost
Mhm.
don't want to like have other people asking you questions and bothering you while you're still trying to figure out what's going on, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you guys are like my wife came out when she was 14. Like she's like you, she's been gay forever. But like I didn't know what it was. I really didn't know what these feelings were that I was having at I would have never understood at 14 that I was gay.
Growing up and kind of knowing some things about just like your interests and things like that, when was your official like testing of being with like your first woman?
Okay, not a lot of people know this. Not a lot of people know this. Um okay, so I used to have a fake ID. I used to have a fake ID. And I would go to the club with my fake ID and I'd be drinking in
Right.
the club and I've hooked up with a couple women when I was under 21. I was over 18 though. Um,
Clarify.
let's clarify that. But you know what? I used to hook up with women after I had been drinking because I had like this liquid courage, and it's terrible for like those women. But yeah, I would like make out with a woman that way that I could be like, oh, I was drunk, oh, I was drinking, and it's like, girl, no, you weren't, no, you weren't. I just wasn't being honest with myself, I guess. But I didn't know at the time that I wasn't being honest with myself.
Right. That is so funny, actually.
You know what? There's a lot of undercover men who do the same thing.
So a majority of these, straight men that are super homophobic
Straight.
typically end up living in those types of spaces where they get inebriated at a bar or something like that, and then they make a move and they do a lot of gay stuff. And that happens a lot. And I think that's why it's funny to me because being a gay man and being in the gay space, I've kind of seen it all happen. But I'm extremely interested in how all of these other groups of people maneuver the space of getting to know who you are, working with people who are not ready to accept themselves but want to dabble in the space, and then the people who like want to be in the space but at home are like trashing everything
Yes.
queer. And I find it so interesting that each of us, whether you're gay, bi, lesbian, trans, whatever, there are people that fall into these categories in each of these groups of people. And I find it to be really interesting that we all go through very similar situations,
We
right?
do. Mm-hmm.
And it is just miraculous. Also, the fake ID thing. There's actually another episode that I talk about fake IDs because I don't think people still use them nowadays. Like, I think,
No,
like,
this was so long ago.
you can't sneak into places anymore. I don't
Mm-mm,
think
they
that
used
that's
to,
like a real thing.
like
And
it
I'm
wasn't
like,
even my picture; it was somebody else's picture who was 21. Like she didn't even really look like me.
now you got a fake ID without your photo. I see.
Yeah,
I'm a New Yorker originally. I had a real fake ID. It
with your
would
picture on it.
my picture on it.
No, it was some other girl.
I was just another name and another date of birth and a different address, but it had my face on it.
I need to know who's making them. I'm trying to be somebody else.
Well, I don't think that they work anymore because that it never could scan. So like I could take it places and people could read it, but this was before the club had like the machine at the door where they're like scanning your ID.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
Mhm.
why I'm like today. What do kids do from like 18 to 21 nowadays? You can't even sneak into anywhere.
You know what? We don't really have like, maybe we do. Maybe I'm so old, but we don't really have like nightclubs like we used to. And we used to have a couple of
No,
gay bars up where I'm from. They're gone. All of our gay bars are gone. Not all of them, but a lot of them are gone.
yeah, there's still quite a bit of gay bars and stuff around. There's still quite a bit of places to hang out that I've been to. I do notice a lot more stuff is turning into like the lounge vibe. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like a sit down hookah, that type of stuff. Um, but I think I'm getting too old because after a night of hookah, my chest hurts, my head hurts, my life hurts.
The
Like this
music's
is
too loud. I gotta go home. I'm getting anxiety. The music's too loud.
the music gets too loud, people start acting crazy. The
Hmm.
moment somebody starts yelling, I'm like, okay,
Gotta go.
I'm too old for this.
I
I
have
gotta grab
anxiety.
my stuff and go. Yeah, unfortunately, just you can't hang out anymore the way we
No,
used to.
no. I want to though. I want to hang out like at a chill lounge where the music is like on a medium. It doesn't have to be low, but like I'll take it at like a medium to medium low.
Yeah. Well, you need to open up your own place and we'll
Oh
all
my
go.
gosh, I know. I
We can
know.
all go.
My
It could
wife was a
be,
bartender her whole life until she went to nursing school. Like perfect bartender, restaurant manager.
yeah,
Mm,
y'all will nail it.
we're
It'll be
perfect.
perfect. Yeah. When you officially came out to yourself and said, I'm gonna get with a woman, where did you start?
So I knew that I was attracted to like masculine energy. I think that's why I was confused before, like and was dating men. I knew I was attracted to masculine energy. So like my type is mask. So I was on Bumble, and very early on in my journey, I found a woman that I had dated for a little while. We weren't like girlfriend, and then I encountered another woman on my unit. I'm such a freaking serial dater. It's ridiculous. I encountered this woman where I was dating or where I was working. So I ended up going out with her. The girl that I was dating to knew that I was going to go on a date with another woman. And the second woman that I dated, I wanted to give her my undivided attention. So I broke things off with the first woman, gave this woman my undivided attention. She ended up breaking my heart. And me and my wife were friends because we all work together. It's crazy. We all work together. So me and my wife were friends. And
Yeah.
when me and my ex broke up, she's like, do you wanna take me out for my birthday? And I'm like, I'm freaking heartbroken. Of course I do. I want to get out of the house. I want to go somewhere. So that's how we ended up. Since
Hold on. Let's rewind a second. So the pickup line is, do you want to take me out for my birthday?
yep, that's what she did to me. Yep.
All I'm gonna say is that for everyone listening, write that down in the books.
Yes. There is a femme out there that will take a mask out for her birthday. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I live. I live. Because I think at the end of the day, whether you're very masculine or very feminine, no matter which way you're presenting, sometimes, being the little spoon is always a good thing every now and then.
Yes. Yes.
Saying, you don't always want to be the big spoon. Sometimes you just want somebody to hold you, even if you are more masculine presenting or whatever.
Exactly, exactly. So I took her out for her birthday on our first date to medieval times because it seemed right. Who doesn't want to go to medieval times? I don't, you know what? If you don't want to go to medieval times, I'm sorry. It's the best first date ever.
I have never been to medieval times on a first date.
Oh,
I
okay.
have gone. I have gone
So
um, on like a school field trip. I've gone with like a
there's so
group of
many adults
friends.
there. This was her 44th birthday. That's where she went for her 44th birthday. Her friends were like, "Who is this chick wanting to take you to medieval time?" Me, because it's fun.
Yeah. No, I think it's, and I would have never thought of going to medieval times. And I think I dropped the ball on
You did.
taking a
You
first
did.
date there. Yeah. And so you get to know each other, you are together for a while, and you get married.
We
But
actually weren't together that long because we're lesbians and like we tend to connect really quickly and fall really hard. So we got together October 29th and we just got married June 8th. What was that? Like 18 months?
that's a long time.
Is it?
Maybe I've just
In
been
the, in
gay.
the gay community, that's a long time.
I think that's a long time.
Okay.
Most of the time, and you guys can put this in the comments if you really want to fight about it, because I'm here to fight. But a majority of the time, people are living with each other after like 30 days to 60 days.
You know what? We don't even like officially live together yet, and we won't officially live together until we've been married for a year. I do like 50-50 and move all around.
Well,
We're
I'm not against
unconventional.
the space.
Yeah, I keep saying we soft launched our marriage. It's just like a little soft launch, a little tester.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect. And for anybody that is not currently following you on TikTok, you guys talk about a little bit about why you guys live separate. And, you both have families and you both have stuff that you guys are doing. And, that's a part of all life, right? It's a part about
Yes.
like making things work and making the negotiations to move
Mhm.
things forward. So I love that. How has it been merging your families?
I was very weary in the beginning because like me and my wife went out for the first time. I was broken up for like 3 weeks. It was back to back. And my ex had built a relationship with my kids and then she just abruptly left. And my kids were younger, so like it was hard for them. So I was very weary about like having my kids meet another person. So we went out for the first time in October and in like January we're like, okay, let's do it. So it was right after Christmas ended. So my wife had went on Amazon, bought my kids all gifts, wrapped them in Christmas presents, so that in January when they met her, she had like these gifts to give them. It was so cute and effortless, and they just like loved her right away. She like my kids just adore her. Even like I have an almost 17-year-old. They're best buds. He likes her more than he likes me.
Well,
I guess it's a mom thing. No, he
yeah,
loves.
I mean, that's a mom thing. That's
Yeah.
pretty easy. No, but that's so genuinely nice. Like
Mhm.
to want to make such a really good first impression.
I know.
Um
It was so sweet.
yeah, that takes time and thought. Like really like she put a lot of time in that.
She did.
Yeah. And so as you've kind of gone and evolved, how has like your relationship with like your parents and stuff been through all of this?
So I don't really talk to my dad. He's always been just not really around. And my mom, when I dated the first woman, I just came out and said, "Oh yeah, I went out with a woman this past weekend," and like she didn't really like say anything, but I was worried, how she was gonna be, but at the same time I wasn't gonna not live my truth. So I had been dating my ex for probably like 6 months. And my mom's like, "Hey, like I know that you have somebody around the kids, like I'd really like to meet them." So I introduced her to my girlfriend on a Monday. She broke up with me on a Thursday. And I know. And my now girlfriend helped me move into my townhouse that I have now in February. Like we went out in October. She helped me move in February. My mom was there. And like by the looks of my wife, like you know she's gay. So my mom knew like okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't just a phase. Like she's actually
Do you think that that other person broke up with you because of your mother?
no, that other
Just kidding.
person.
I'm just kidding.
No. Nope.
Meet your mom on
She was
Monday.
seeing somebody
We
else.
separate on Thursday.
I know. Oh my God, it was so bad.
Yeah, that's definitely not a prime moment
No, it was
in
horrible.
that passing. Yeah, a lot of us don't. We're so afraid to like make these next steps and really introduce people to other people in our circle because the other side of that, right, is like I don't want to look crazy. So like I don't want to make it seem like we're going in a specific direction that you are going completely somewhere else and then we're not clicking and other people are going to see that before we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's wild. And I think, that person gutter in the comments. No, I'm just kidding.
No, good luck. Good luck to all my exes. Seriously, I wish everyone the best in life. I have no ill will towards anyone.
I
Except her.
yeah. Okay. Let's
I do. Seriously. I think it was a good lesson. There were red flags that I should have picked up. So it was a good learning lesson and I'm super happy now and my life is fantastic now.
Yeah. Well, before you got married, which is when I kind of stumbled upon your initial TikTok, was right in that whole wedding madness. I was definitely addicted to the drama-free, drama-full marriage wedding situation where you were making TikToks of just creating drama that wasn't there.
Yeah, I want to argue.
Everything. Yeah, I lived for it because I feel like I would be the same way in like this whole like there's no reason it should be going so smoothly. We need chaos just to have some fun. So before you officially get married, right? What was going through your mind? Like you're building this relationship with somebody you truly care about. You have your children and you're building your family, living authentically yourself. What was like the driver to get married?
Love. Like I just adore this woman. She annoys the crap out of me, but I literally adore her. It's so like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not just love. Like I adore this person because like people said, like have messaged me like, well, why didn't you just wait? Why should we? Why not? We're in love.
Yeah.
Why not get married now?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's no better time than now.
Right?
Life is short. You
What's
never
gonna
know what could
change
happen.
in a year?
Right. And not only that, but you also don't know what will happen in a year. Like, you don't know if, a year from now, you guys could be moving somewhere else and having this whole new life.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have worked out if you didn't like start already building a relationship and kind of growing.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. Now, the battle on TikTok for the day of the wedding, which you won, and we are all very upset about.
Yes.
How did you win that battle? Because the comments were saying otherwise.
Okay, so we eloped. It was very chill vibes. My sister got ordained online. She came out in a Steve Madden pants and a black shirt and married us. And my photographer is amazing, but she's my friend. So we had everything set for June 8th, but we could have gone either way. If I would have told my photographer, hey girl, can you do on Sunday instead of Saturday? She would have said no problem. But everything was set for Saturday, but my wife really wanted June 9 for those reasons. And I'm just like, no, we're not doing it.
I was here for it. I told my partner that we're getting married on 6/9 because I can't. Like, if we get married, it's gonna have to be on 6/9. Like, there's no other date at this point.
No.
So I was just very intrigued on that whole process. So you joined TikTok. You have grown a huge TikTok following at this point.
Yeah.
Um, in what I think is a short period of time. I don't know about what other people would consider short or long periods of time on TikTok. I think if you're getting followers, you're getting followers.
Yeah.
So you build this huge following of lesbians on TikTok. Where did you come up with the idea of like, let's bring these people together and create this huge community?
I made a post and I said, like, hey, a lot of you guys have a goal on this app. Some of it's 5K, some of it's 10K. My goal is to befriend every lesbian on this app. And then a few days later, I was like, we should all connect, not just like me connect with lesbians. We should all like have this big web of lesbians. Uh, so I don't, honestly, just started off as like this, like simple little video. And then I'm like, let me make this lesbians connect. And so many people commented in it. Like the last time I checked, there was like 750 comments in it. So I'm like, okay, no, maybe we'll just like branch off and do states. And I mean, we're going to do states. We're going to do an international post. We're going to do baby gays. We're going to do 40 plus. We have like so many ideas that are coming soon, but this is all so new.
Yeah. And I am so here for this community driver. I think a lot of us in the queer community are trying to figure out how can we put our spin on what we can bring to the table to help strengthen a community. We're at a place right now as a community of queer people, we need to stick together so that we can work together to have equal rights for everyone
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that we're not losing people to suicide anymore. Like these are all things that I really drive towards.
Yeah.
And seeing kind of your growth in this, you know, I'm probably one of the few non-lesbian people in the comments all
We
the
love
time,
everyone.
trying to
We
see what's
love
going
you.
on. But I live for the camaraderie and the joy that a lot of people have in these comments, and a lot of people are hugely like intrigued and commenting and involving themselves and meeting
Yeah.
other people, and it is so amazing just where you've been able to go so far with it. Have you considered like making this larger? Have you considered doing a meetup in public in like somewhere in Pennsylvania, stuff like
Yeah.
that might encourage people?
Heck yeah. We're thinking of this fall doing a little meetup in Philadelphia. We'll have to see though. We'll have to see. We'll have to find a place and get that all organized. But there we are in the my wife lives in the Poconos. So there's this awesome little resort, if you will. It's very old, but it's called a Rainbow Mountain. And my wife is like, what if we host an event at Rainbow Mountain? I mean, it's gay owned. And I'm like, dude, that would be perfect. So
Yeah.
like, if this, continues to grow, we really want to do like a large meetup at Rainbow Mountain.
That would be awesome because
Yeah. You know
people
what?
should go to these queer owned spaces.
Yes. It used to be really big and then it just fell off like a lot of like things that are geared towards such a specific community. It really fell off. Me and my wife went there and we were the only ones at the bar. So my wife was like, yeah, Rainbow Mountain would probably say yeah. I mean, they don't really have a lot of business. We bring 300 queers there. They have alcohol there. They have a camping grounds close and it's all queer owned. We need this. We'll see.
Everybody, if you're looking for places to go and you're not looking at queer owned places, looking at queer owned restaurants and things like that, those are really what we should be focusing on, right? Our dollars speak volume, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of people don't listen to that enough. Like, you know, spend your dollars wisely. If you want to continue to help support your community in any way, shape, or form, spending your money wisely can help do that.
I love the Poconos. I would encourage people in other states to host your own events, get together, do meet and greets. I work as a full-time nurse, so I can only do things like in PA. I have 3 kids and I'm a
Yeah.
full-time nurse, but I do encourage people to set up your own little meet and greets.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
what is your drivers for your TikTok moving forward? Like, what are your next major goals?
Connecting every lesbian on TikTok. Let's build this community.
I love how you don't have like milestone goals before that. You're like, the only goal is connecting.
What other goal do you need?
That's perfect actually. I guess you don't need a milestone goal if the one goal is the goal, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care how many followers I get. I don't care. I just want to
Yeah.
connect my people.
I live for this. That is so funny. So what would your advice be for somebody that wants to get started in kind of building something similar to what you have on TikTok?
Um, just jump in there. I mean, I don't know because like I just put up a post and it went crazy. I don't really know. I don't know. Just do it.
From Right. From that, I get you need to actually get up and do it. You need to get up and post a video. You need to get up and be consistent, right? And
Yeah.
like get yourself out there. A lot of people are very nervous and shy, and we need to kind of move past that. I mean, the more shy and nervous you're going to be, the less likely you're going to be to connect with other people and branch out.
And there, you know what? There's space here for all of us. Like, there's awesome speed dating, like lesbian speed dating creators. There's space here for all of us. What I'm doing is different than what I've seen, so I'm excited about it. But listen, if you want to post, post. There's room for all of us.
Yeah. I love that the way you put that because realistically, I mean, there is no other you, right? Like you can the way you build content, the way you edit content, the way you do stuff, like there is no other Megan, there is no other Manuel, there is no other like you as an individual.
Yeah.
Um, so I definitely encourage like go out and just post stuff. I mean, you're gonna find a group of people that want to connect with you and want to be a part of your journey and your story and your life and the things you post. Um, and just watch the whole thing. I
Hmm.
mean, I watched the Wedding Chronicles and was sharing that to my spouse for the longest. I'm like, look at these Wedding Chronicles because they really have us by the chokehold.
Yes.
As you are becoming famous on TikTok and really growing a following of people
Becoming
and being
lesbian
watched,
famous.
lesbian famous, um, you are a nurse. What made you get into that field?
You know what? It's like so cheesy. And I had a psych professor who was like, don't say that. That's not a thing. But I love helping people. I feel like you have to love, like you have to have a passion for it to do what we do. Like I said, I had a professor who was like, oh, your dog likes helping people. No, they don't. Your dog likes making people happy. I like helping people. So, my mom was like, why don't you be a nurse? I'm like, oh, that's not my vibe. So I went to school and got a business degree. And then my business degree didn't get me anywhere. I was a receptionist. And I was like, dude, this is for the birds. So I'm like, let me pick away. It took me years, by the way, to become a nurse. Years. I started picking away one prerequisite at a time because I worked full time. Just one class at a time, finish. One class at a time, finish. I did all of my prerequisites, applied for the RN program at my local community college, got in. And I mean, the program's 2 years. So I didn't become a nurse until I was 33. I'm 37.
Yeah, so you started really just like going through the process little by little and
Little by
trying to
little.
make it happen. I will say, and people on the podcast, I'm sorry for anybody listening that might have a real job where you have to like sit in a cubicle or be in an office or something. But I'm sorry, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how you sit at a desk and answer a phone all day, or like, the receptionist that's at the front that people like walk by and throw stuff on your desk all day long. Like,
That was me.
I don't know how people do it. I just don't get it. I just like the anxiety I would have of like people just dropping stuff off on my desk would like I did work in an office for a while. I remember like coming in the morning and like stuff being on my desk that wasn't on my desk when I walked out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that like there were times where I just threw it in the shredder. Did not care what it said. what it was about. I know people would come in and be like, "Did you see this?" Nope, didn't see it. It was
No.
gone.
What are you talking about? No, you know what?
Yeah.
I was a receptionist all throughout nursing school. That's what paid the bills. But I worked for the most amazing doctor. I worked for cardiac and thoracic surgery. And you know what? It was a very like niche practice. So my
Mhm.
doctor saw patients in the office one day. My nurse practitioner saw patients in the office one day. Sometimes I would get 2 phone calls a day. So I was
Oh
studying
wow.
for hours and hours, to just studying. And my doctor would see me studying. He didn't care. He was like, "Go ahead, girl. Good for you." So
Yeah. I mean, I,
I didn't work a ton like you. I was like a chill receptionist. They didn't give
oh
me a lot of
no.
work.
Yeah, no. Anytime I ever worked in an office setting, it was terrible. Like, I
Oh,
was like, I don't know how people do this. Now you go home to home, right?
yeah, I'm a home care nurse. I came out of school and went to a cardiac unit, which is where I met my wife. And inpatient is not for the weak. It is rough. And it just wasn't for me. So my wife works for home care. And when she would come to my unit, she would say, "Why don't you come to home care? Like, I know you'll like it." So I had a contract for a year with my unit. So as soon as my 1 year was
Yeah.
up, I'm like, home care it is. And I've been there ever since, and I love it. I drive to individuals' homes, about 6 people a day, go home, do my charting, and do it all over again the next day.
Yeah. It's probably like almost validating too to like be able to help some of these people,
Yeah.
especially that you're probably helping people that like have a hard time getting around or their ADLs and things like that, which is,
And
sometimes
we
people
build a
just need some
relationship
help.
with them. Like sometimes we see patients for years.
And they don't have, I mean, no shade to the older people, but a lot of them are sitting in their homes by themselves. And a lot of people
Yes.
don't come and visit and stuff. So, like, when you go, you're probably also like giving them some life, giving them some,
Oh,
like,
absolutely. I have an 86-year-old best friend right now. We chit chat. Most of her visit is us talking. And I'm like, "Okay, girl, we got to do like some real stuff." Like 86-year-old best friend. Besides my wife, I'm not kidding you. Okay, besides my wife and sister, 86 years old.
yeah, I
Hi.
live for that. So, coming into your authenticity, living authentically yourself after all of this time, um, what do you find as being like the most liberating for you right now?
Like I found like that connection that these other couples that you see these beautiful heterosexual couples that just like love each other and get along. And I didn't have that. But I feel that now. Like I'm so glad. I don't care if it was when I was 34 or 35, however old I was when I found that connection. I don't care. I'm just so grateful that I am able to feel what those people feel.
Yeah.
For so many years I didn't, and I didn't know why, and I didn't know why I didn't like this guy. That's because I was supposed to be able to check.
No, that is right. I mean, I think that's the goal, right? It's like how do we find um love? How do we find affection? How do we find somebody that cares unconditionally? I think that's like the prime moment where you just love yourself that much more because like now
Yeah.
you're moving into a place where you can accept yourself for who you are while having somebody that also accepts you for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through all of this, you get married, you're living your life now. If you could go back to your 15-year-old self and give advice, what would you tell her?
Don't have sex with, don't have kids. Don't, I mean, I would have still wanted kids, but like I had my first kid when I was 20 years old. And listen, kids are a lifelong commitment, and your lifelong commitment is with the person that you had kids with. And just like Meagan, go to like a 4 year college with an IUD, just in case, and experiment with women while you're there.
Uh, I live. Don't forget the IUD.
Don't forget the IUD, just in case you think you're bi after a couple beers.
Yeah. Just in case the night goes wrong and you ended up at a straight bar instead of the gay bar.
Oh, I know, I know. But I would have, like,
So
now I would, like, if I could talk to my 15-year-old self, it would be like, just listen to that whisper.
yeah,
Like, and maybe I wouldn't have had such bad relation. Not that I had a ton of bad relationships, but you know what I mean? Like, maybe I wouldn't
yeah.
have had like that uh confusion and just like uck feeling in relationships if I would have listened to that whisper, because it does start off as a whisper. It's not like this loud, like, oh, you're gay. It's like, oh, she's kind of hot.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing that I want to highlight from what you just said. It's like it is not you don't wake up one morning and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm a homosexual." That's not usually how it works, right? It's like it takes time for you to realize like, "Oh my God, everybody in this classroom is looking at this girl with a thick waist walk in, and I definitely was looking at her man."
Yes.
Like, I think I'm looking at the wrong person because everybody's talking
Yes.
about something else that I'm not talking about.
That's what it was like as a kid. Like, wait. I definitely like her in a different way than everyone else does.
Yeah. And I think when you start like really feeling through those small things, it's like, do you shut them down and hide them, or do you like act upon those types of things? And I think
Hmm.
now we're finally in a space where like you can be a little bit more yourself and a little bit more
Yes.
out there, and you can take hold of some of these moments where, I remember in middle school, this man, I had the only hots for this man in middle school. And I just never did anything, never said anything. And like sure enough, I think I turned like 24 or so, 25 or something like that. Came across my Facebook. He's a total homosexual. Missed that whole boat. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We could have been friends back then and maybe learned a lot about each other and helped
Yeah.
each other come out earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adventure life, you have to just take these chances and kind of go for it.
Hmm.
So now, as a mom, right, your
Yes.
kids are older, you have gone kind of through raising your kids and coming out and experiencing your own life. And, I find parents to be very interesting to me just because I feel like most of us are still trying to figure out how to live a life. And then, like, now you have kids. So now there's like this, I also have to make sure these things don't die.
Yes.
So, what was it like for you kind of figuring out how you're going to maneuver just being human and an adult and then like making sure these kids don't die in the process?
I think like a lot of people were not given a choice. Like the hospital's like, no, this is yours, and you have to take this guy home. Take him.
Yeah.
So like, we're not given a choice, and we bring those babies home, and it's like, let's figure this all out together. I I think just basically we are not given a choice.
Yeah. So you just kind of, we're going to wing it and go through it.
Yeah, I didn't read a parenting book. Janet gave me a parenting class in the hospital and said, take your baby. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I think it's funny because when I was in high school, we did take a parenting class. Like we actually had to like take a parenting class, have like a baby, keep it alive, all of these
Oh,
things.
yeah.
So I find it interesting because growing up, I noticed that there's people that took parenting classes and things like that, and like home economics and stuff, and then there's people that didn't. And as I've gotten older, the more I realized I went to a really poor school because we took like home economics and like wood shop and like all of these like trade jobs.
Yeah.
Um, but as I've kind of like grown up, I was like, these classes, although were shown to us because we were in a demographic of students that they pretty much said, you're going to end up like being a mom or a mechanic or
Yeah.
construction or something like
Uh-huh.
that. So I've also like used a lot of those things like in my life, although I've never been a mechanic or any of that stuff. Like a lot of the stuff that I've learned became really useful in life. That's like the only classes I remember anything from. So I think a lot of people should reach out and like get these courses at a young age and like
I
learn
think
some
they
stuff.
offer stuff like that when you're pregnant. Like you can do like parenting classes, but like
Yeah,
I was 20 years old. Like I wasn't thinking like that.
you're not going.
I'm not, no, I'm not going. Is there food?
Is there food? That's the 100% number one question
Yes.
is,
Will
are
there
there
be food?
snacks?
Do we have
Are there
tacos
snacks
available?
or is it food?
Yes.
Those are two
Yes.
different things.
Are there
I
light
don't,
refreshments or a charcuterie?
there you go. That's definitely it right there. So, for everybody listening that might be, in their 30s, let's just pick a number. Somebody in their 30s, not out queer yet, but has felt very similar to you and kind of listening to your story feels that connection with who you are and how that reflects on them. What would your advice be to them living authentically themselves?
I guess just don't worry about what other people are gonna think. Like at some point in life, and like I said, for me, it was way later. At some point in life, we need to live for just ourselves. We need to be selfish for ourselves. And obviously, you don't need to be selfish with everything, but with your sexuality, it's no one else's business. You need to be selfish and do what you want. Who cares if your aunt isn't going to talk to you anymore because you're gay? Live your life. Honestly, and if your family, friends are going to stop talking to you because you are deciding to finally live your authentic self, they won it. They won it. Move on.
Yeah.
Because we're building a community of queer friends. So we've got a bunch for you.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I'm stealing that. Taking it to the bank.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There is a queer community and we're here to like help love and support you. And I think that that is so huge. I think so many of us are afraid to like let people go. And I think it's amazing to me how many people are willing to hold on to people that you consider to be so close to you, so in love with you, care for you so much that genuinely can just hate you to your face and you allow it to happen.
Yeah.
I think, and I have said this a ton of times, I'm sure somebody's going to say something about it in the comments, but respect is earned, not given. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not encouraging people to like cut off your parents all the time or like cut off your family, but if none of them support you authentically and want to see you live your happiest self, maybe there's a different route. Maybe there's somebody
Seriously.
that you will meet that can encourage you to be the best version of you.
Yes. That's why community is so big. Do you know how many of us parents cut us off? Not that mine did, but parents cut us off. Community is huge. Building your community is imperative.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think everybody needs to make sure that they are reaching out to finding people that want to see you be the best version of you. And I think if
Yeah.
you live your life kind of constantly thinking that, do the people in my circle want to see the best version of me? Then that's who should be in your circle.
Yeah,
And
somebody
then
needs to do like gay men's connect, transsexuals connect. Like we need to build it up for everyone, not just lesbians. We need to build it up. We need all of us in the LGBTQ plus to have a community.
we have an app where gay men connect.
Is it Grinder? Not that kind of connect.
I'm sorry, but
Wait, do you
for
connect as
everybody
friends there?
listening, no, I am not starting a gay connect on TikTok because that is not going to turn
Maybe,
into what we want it to be.
maybe,
Listen, I
maybe,
think
maybe we're lighting a fire under your butt for you to start a gay men's connect.
no.
I'm not either.
No, yeah, no. I think somebody who wants to spend the time to do that should really do that.
Yes.
I am creating a queer safe space for everyone.
Love it.
That's my creation on TikTok and on all of my social media. Everybody can come to Girl By and feel accepted no matter what part of the queer community you're in. The Gay Men's Association Alliance should be created by somebody that wants to deal with that.
Somebody
Uh,
should pick it up.
yeah, we're putting it out there. Somebody can grab it. I mean, they just watch the video, they can go off and do their own thing. I'm sure you can reach out to Megan's DMs on TikTok and she'll probably help you too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I do think, however, whoever starts that, the DMs are going to be wild. I think it's not going to be what
Yeah.
we, from what I've seen in the lesbian thing and like the lesbian comments, I'm like, okay, these are cute and these are like nice and people are nice. I feel like in the men's thing, it's going to be Grinder, but on TikTok, and we're going to get blocked.
Oh my God. You know what? The women are so chill. They're like looking for friends. I'd be like looking for somebody to. No,
So I'm like, I go through the comments on some of your videos, and these women are like, just looking for a casual friend
I
to
know.
talk to, and blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, I looked at all the videos on your thing. You don't have you're never posting with other people. Are you single? How about post? I'm looking for somebody to cuddle and eat my cookies. Like post something.
That's what I would say.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mhm.
feel like I need somebody to come watch Netflix, cuddle, and eat my cookies.
And
That's like,
chill.
yeah, like hello.
I know.
Listen, advice for the lesbians on TikTok that are watching this: get a little more aggressive in the comments.
Oh
We're
my
waiting
God.
for it.
No, don't. He's kidding. Don't. You guys are perfect the way you are. We're not trying to get the page banned.
That's exactly what happens. You'll get a community guidance.
Oh my God. That happens to me all the time. If I just type the word gay, type the word lesbian, and I have to appeal it. And I'm like, come on. What is this?
I do want to make a comment about that on this thing. I am over the community guideline issues with using the word gay or lesbian or
Yes.
any of that stuff. I'm so over that. We need TikTok. I'm calling your ass to the table. You need to get this fixed because it is so unnecessary. Like, I get it. I get some of it, right? They're like trying to eliminate like
Filter.
hate speech and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which I get. But like also as queer people, that is a part of our vocabulary,
Yeah.
you know? So it's really, really hard. It's really hard to navigate the rules of that sometimes.
I know.
How do you manage that?
What? The hate comments?
No, the community guidelines.
Oh, I appeal it. Like they'll shoot you a message and telling me that
Yeah.
I violated it. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Appeal. And honestly, every single comment that's ever happened to, they've reinstated it.
Okay. So you never had any like anything that's didn't let you post it.
No, I mean, sometimes I try, instead of saying gay, I'll put like the rainbow so that I don't get flagged. Or instead of putting lesbian, I'll put like LEZ. But it's corny and I don't want to do that anymore. It's stupid. Let me say lesbian. Let me say gay.
Right. Period. That's all part of the journey, I think, of just navigating. I think social media is trying to balance both sides of the equation.
Yeah.
And they're trying to help us. So TikTok, I'm not being mean. I'm not being angry. Don't block me on TikTok. Don't suppress my videos. But
Oh my
you can
gosh.
help us
Seriously.
out. You can help us out on the community guidelines by knowing. I should have like an asterisk of or like something that says, "Oh, this content creator's gay," and he can say gay.
He can say gay. He's fine. He's cool.
Yeah. Kind of just navigating your life and your situation. What would be your main advice to anyone that would come up to you now on how to just be authentically themselves?
Just choose yourself first. Seriously, just choose yourself at some point. And honestly, for everyone, maybe it's not right now. Maybe it's not a 14-year-old. Sometimes we got to get a little older, get out of the house, get away from toxic parents. But at some point, choose yourself, and everything is going to be fantastic at some point. It's not always easy in the beginning, you know? If people break communication with their parents, it's not always easy in the beginning, but everything will work out. We only live one life, live it authentically.
Period. Perfect. To bring this episode to a close, the only way we know how here at Girl Bye is being a little shady. Who would you officially like to say girl bye to?
Well, honestly, I'd like to say girl bye to all these negative Nancys on my page and post. Girl bye to you. But I had a friend that I had been friends with since like the 6th grade. And she did something a little shady to my sister. Not even to me, but we stand on business with our family. So she did something
Yeah.
a little shady to my sister and then told me about it and was like, please don't tell your sister. So girl bye to even thinking that I wouldn't have my sister's back. But I mean, good luck to you. But girl, bye.
Well, 10 toes down, because you got to stand 10 toes down with your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
But crazy that
No.
so basically, this person thought that they could be shady to your sister
Mm-hmm.
and that you were going to be okay with it?
But it was like something serious. Like she stole her coworker's credit card information and bought some stuff and had it shipped to my sister's house because she lived in an apartment that like packages had been stolen. So like this stolen, like on this stolen credit card was being shipped to my sister's house. And she's like, please don't tell your sister. And I'm like, excuse me? So what? The cops can come knock on my sister's door? No, thank you.
What? Wild.
She ended
Wild.
up telling the coworker and paying her back. She worked overtime to pay her back. So like I'm glad that she rectified that, but still it was
No,
just
that's
shady and I really love people with integrity, so we had to let that one go.
yeah. You can rectify that, but that's still you stole that's fraudulent activity. That's a
Right?
felony.
Could you
That's a
imagine?
felony.
And you know what? The woman that she stole from like helped her buy her kids Christmas presents because she didn't have a lot of money. I know. Isn't it messed up? See, this is why we had to say girl bye to her.
Yeah, you see, this is why you get girl by because it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely, girl by to that hoe. Well, as we come to a close here on Girl Bye, I want to first thank you for joining us today
Thank you for
and
having me.
really opening up and sharing your story. I'm sure that a lot of your current fans are going to enjoy getting to learn more in depth about you as an
Yeah.
individual. But also, I'm excited to share this journey of yours in connecting lesbians around the world.
Yeah.
And I really am excited to watch this continue to grow and evolve
Me
and
too.
see what happens. Maybe if you do an event in Philly or, a virtual event or whatever,
Ooh,
let
that's
me
a good
know. We could
idea.
have Girl Bye come and join. And I would love to see how this thing continues to grow and just be a part of kind of that community. I'm not a lesbian. And what's great of having me as part of this group is I'll never steal your girl.
Mhm. Mhm.
I might steal your brother, but never the girls.
Yep.
Um, so thank you again for joining us.
You're
Is
welcome.
there any last comments that you would like to share with either your followers or your friends or anybody that is listening to this episode?
Girls, we're coming. We're coming. That's it.
It's the choice of word that is just.
Oh my God. I didn't even think of that. Let's go, lesbians.
I'm definitely editing that into a very funny video because I'm sorry, but that is so funny. I'm gonna just attention lesbians. We're coming.
I didn't even think of it like that. Oh my God.
Well, on that note, since we're all definitely gonna watch your story and watch you grow, and I'm excited to see what's next for you. Everybody, make sure that you take a look at the description below on YouTube and on Spotify. You can see Megan's TikTok link there. Go follow. If you're any kind of queer, you should go follow Megan and watch her story evolve and watch this relationship grow, because the marriage is amazing. The way that you guys communicate and talk, and just, you can tell that your wife is not the center of attention
Oh my God.
TikToker person.
Oh no, she's
And
so quiet and chill vibes.
I love the fact that like she even joins you on some of these TikToks that you make, but also like you can tell where like you're like, she clearly would go her whole life never doing this.
I know, seriously. No, seriously.
Yeah, so I live for it. So everybody watching, please go over and follow on TikTok. And if you are a lesbian, no matter where you are in the world, go follow Meagan. You can see where she's connecting lesbians around the world. Right now, a majority of people are in each state. But you're also going to post internationally, right?
We're doing international as soon as all 50 states and territories like Puerto Rico come about. We're going international.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Everybody watching, make sure you dive into all of Meagan's TikToks. And if you are a lesbian looking for other lesbians in the community, whether it might be dating or just looking for friends and people to hang out with and do stuff, get on the bandwagon, see who's in your state. And, if there's nobody in the town that you live in, create it, help out, and, be the person that people can talk to kind of continue to expand that. So don't forget to join us every Monday where we bring you a new episode at 6 p.m. on Girl Bye. Our season 1 is slowly coming to an end, and we are officially almost at our 25th episode. So season 1 will get wrapped at 25 episodes, and then we will move on to season 2, which will air in 2025. So I'm very excited to take this episode to officially introduce the fact that we will have a season 2 and it will come out in 2025. So be on the lookout for that. And if you've missed any of the last episodes, please go to our YouTube channel or to our Spotify and get caught up, and don't miss out on any other episodes coming out. And we, as always, will catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Girl, bye.
Girl, bye.
Girl, bye.
Girl,
Girl, bye.
bye.
Bye, girl, bye.